All right. Good morning, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to this week's sales meeting. We are in the month of November. The weather certainly feels like it. We are going to go ahead and dive right in this morning, as we like to start every single sales meeting with a little mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. This week, wanted to circle back to the vision of our company, as it's a good underpinning for part of today's conversation, and a lot of the things that we have coming up throughout the remainder of the year. So the vision for Keller Williams is to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers. And here at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, we like to add on to that a little bit by saying, and also be the number one place for an agent to grow their business. And as we get into the winter months, as we start to see seasonality return to the market, if we're thinking like business people, we're going to have a conversation about our business a little bit later today. Market share gets taken in the winter months, right? And we're going to talk a lot about that. So as we approach our business and as we set out, first and foremost, to serve our customers, we have a lot of opportunity in the next 90 days to do a lot with that. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, let's talk about some of the success we've been having painting the town red. So these are official numbers for our market center and still unofficial numbers for the MLS. We know some people get their paperwork in the maximum amount of time following the maximum allowable time. But as it stood yesterday, Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan was up 2% in listings, with over 200 listings in the month of October, outpacing the market, which was down almost 4%. So when we talk about market share, we know that listings are key, and your office, you are taking more market share now. And as we like to do every week, if you've got a new listing, if you've got a listing coming up, throw it in the chat box. Let us know where it is, what it is, how much it is, and why we need to go see it. And I know that folks are firing up the brokers opens again. So if you got one of those that you're hosting, please feel free to put that in the chat box as well, and take advantage of our community to get that sold. Speaking of our community, here's everybody who is celebrating their birthday in the month of November. Very excited for all of these individuals. It always feels like we have a ton of people having birthdays, but that's probably a side effect of the fact that we have so many outstanding agents in the company. But if you see someone's name on there, feel free to shoot them a text, shout them out in the chat box, let them know you love them and you are wishing them the best for this next lap around the sun. Speaking of laps, here's everybody who's celebrating their anniversary with Keller Williams and Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan. So a lot of fantastic people on this list. I'm looking at Debbie Garson's name and I'm seeing her face down here in the corner of my screen. Happy Kellerversary, Debbie. And be sure to send everybody some love, that let them know you love being in business with them. Speaking of business and bad puns, congratulations for everyone who capped in the month of October. We're really excited about these folks. Ryan DeLuca capping for the first time as an individual agent. Rebecca Runge capping her first time with our company after joining in February. And then Tammy Goodwin and Ashley Martin, first-time cappers on their respective teams. So a lot of folks now earning 100% commission with our company, as we have had a record number of cappers this year. Moving on to our November training calendar. We've got some awesome stuff coming up. Guys, this should have hit your inbox about a half a dozen different ways at this point. It was in my email this morning. It was sent out to the entire market center yesterday. Download this, print it out, forward it to your friends, do whatever you want with it, but make sure you get these dates on your calendar. We're going to deep dive some of the really exciting stuff coming up for this month, as well as a couple key events to save the date for next month. So you saw the sales meeting cadence for the month of November. Here's what we're breaking down. Today, we're going to be talking about really hitting the gas through the end of 2021 into 2022, taking advantage of what we have right now. And then next week we are, as it is the week of Veterans Day and the Marines' birthday, we will be celebrating our veteran community next week as our focus for the sales meeting. And then on November 16th, we are going to have a coaching call real play. So we are going to be able to see our one of our agents and their MAPS coach go through what a coaching call looks like. I think that sometimes there's a lot of ambiguity around what is coaching, what does it look like, how to, what actually happens. And so what better way to just let folks know exactly what's on the other side of that curtain and take advantage of watching it. November 23rd, the week of Thanksgiving, we'll have no sales meeting that week. And then we will wrap up the month of November on the 30th with a market center update covering a bunch of great and different highlights for everyone as we head into the last month of the year. Real quick, before we slide off this, I'm going to go back to the celebrating our veterans communities. Guys, if you are a military veteran, reservist, military spouse, military parent, if you could pop onto our Facebook page, we had a poll up there trying to get a good capture of who in our market center is a part of this. If you know someone in our market center, in our KWGM family that is a veteran, a military spouse, a reservist, whatever, anything associated with the military, please shoot Julia Cumming an email so that we can make sure that gets tagged. Actually, you can just shoot it to Sierra at front desk. She makes sure that gets tagged. Go ahead and do that so we can make sure we are celebrating everyone that we possibly can with respect to their veteran status. All right, so this Thursday at 1 p.m., we have got a top 1,000 agent in the US, right? So Rachel Adams Lee is one of the top 1,000 real estate agents in the entire United States. And she built her business, not only her real estate business, but 3 other 6-figure businesses with social media. And so she is going to be doing an exclusive Zoom session with us to help our agents get more comfortable, more confident, and more consistent in their social media leverage and their social media benefits and reaping the benefits of social media. So please mark this on your calendar. I am looking at nearly a half a dozen people that I know I have talked to about how they feel like they could be doing more on social media. They feel like there's an opportunity there. They regret not doing as much, and they feel like there's more business there. This is the best opportunity for you to get a crash course in how to get comfortable, what to post, when to post, how to post, why to post, and take advantage of that. All right, Debbie, I see you in the chat box. You got a Zoom link for it yesterday, and we will also send it out the day of. All right, guys, this month's reverse book club is Never Eat Alone. We know that this is the season for eating. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But the real focus of this book and the conversation that we're going to have on Friday morning for our reverse book club is about networking. So a lot of people or very few people are natural networkers. The rest of us have to really put the work into network to get it done. And so this book breaks down how to be very intentional, very specific, and really dive into the 20% that delivers the 80% of results. How to go from just being friends to being collaborators, and how to get comfortable with the audacity of asking for help. So a lot of great things to take with us into our very high touch time period coming up here in the next couple of months. And then final plug, well, probably not the final plug, but final sales meeting plug for next Monday's business planning clinic. If you haven't got a ticket yet, please go get a ticket now. We have almost 165 tickets for this, or agents attending this event. It is going to be a packed room, a great networking event, and a great event to set yourself up for 2022 to be your best year yet. If you have been to the business planning clinic before, I can promise you there will be some new and never before seen concepts woven into the tried and true models and systems of the millionaire real estate agent. So take advantage of this, put yourself in position to maximize 2022. All right, also in the month of November, we have our, on Monday, November 22nd, we are holding our monthly career night. So if you know someone that is in classes, great, send them our way. Let's make sure we get in the conversation with them. But if you also know someone that needs to be in real estate, guys, I don't know if you caught anything on the news in the last 10 days, but people are quitting their jobs in record numbers. People are trying to find a way to maintain some of the lifestyle that came with the pandemic in terms of the freedom and flexibility of schedule. We know that when we do it right and we act like business owners, that a career in real estate can create an immeasurable amount of freedom for people to take advantage of. And so don't hesitate to send folks our way that need to know more about the opportunities that a career in real estate can provide. All right, now let's talk about having a little bit of fun and enjoying each other's company. Over the summer, we had both in the Rocky River and Pepper Pike offices, a couple of outstanding house parties where we brought together all of our agents to just hang out and have a good time. And we're looking to replicate that with this year's gratitude gathering. So you all got an email about it yesterday, and we're talking about it today. There will be a gratitude gathering in the early evening in both our Pepper Pike and Rocky River offices, November 17th for Pepper Pike, November 18th for Rocky River. Don't let whichever side of town you call home dictate which one you go to. Everyone's welcome at both. There will be drinks, seasonally appropriate food. I'm told that there will be at least one, but likely multiple pies available for everyone to enjoy. And we are going to have a great time. No need to RSVP. Just put it on your calendar, be there or be square. And while you're there, pick up your copy of The Joy of KW, Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan's cookbook. The KW Cares crew put this together with help from a lot of you with some great recipes. It is a fantastic book that you can pre-order by reaching out to Carrie Mitchell and securing your copy. I want you to know that we've already sold over 200 copies. So take advantage of this opportunity while it lasts and get it in front of your clients, your friends, your family, yourself. And then you will be able to pick those up at the gratitude gathering, which will be a lot of fun. And then as we move into the month of December, some very awesome stuff coming up in December. This is our professional property stager certification course. This will be on December 2nd. It's an all-day event. So we talk a lot about listings. And so what better way to position yourself as the primary listing agent than to be able to articulate to your potential seller how to, what to, why to, when to stage, all of those things, the impact of staging on their sales price and the ultimate net to seller. And this, from a credibility standpoint alone, could get you into the door with some of those luxury listings that we're all seeking. But the opportunity here to get in, get educated, get certified, get some CE, and get yourself in a position to be a listing agent in 2022. Great opportunity, guys. And then for back to the fun stuff, our holiday party has been announced. So on Saturday, December 11th, get out your planners, mark your calendars, do it right now. We will be hosting everyone in our Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan family for a really fun holiday party at a great bar in the Flats called Good Night John Boy. And we will be getting down and doing some boogieing, as this is a 70s themed bar. And you know, I know there's some suspicions based on how much I love the movie Saturday Night Fever and the 70s as to whether or not I will actually be on the dance floor, and I will. And so I went and I went to my mom and I said, hey, can you pull out the pictures from senior prom? And so this is actually me in a leisure suit and some patent leather platform shoes. And yes, of course, no date to that prom, but I will literally be on the dance floor all night doing the best John Travolta impersonation that you can imagine. And I hope that you will join me there. It is so great. I have both Danielle and Julia's face in the frame at the same time. I've not seen this much disappointment since my mom actually took these pictures. So with that, we are going to throw it over to our partners. And we are going to start with our friends from Cross Country Mortgage. So Sean and Don, good luck following that, my friends.
I'm honestly just speechless. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. We just rehash those photos for the next 5 minutes, but I'm impressed. So no segue here. The Federal Reserve Board meets today and tomorrow. The meeting could conclude tomorrow at 2:15 with a press release and conference, which I'm sure they'll basically, the expectation is they're going to announce they're going to taper off from their bond buying that they've committed to the past 18 plus months. Again, we're not necessarily expecting any panic. When this happened in 2013, rates went up 1.25% in just over a month. We're not expecting that, but this is kind of what led the rates kind of push up about 0.3% over the last month and a half or so. So just, if nothing else, it creates urgency. Buyers right now, most are locking in when they can, and it's probably getting anyone who might still be on the fence to kind of jump off it and get rates locked in. So what I want to touch on today, I put two documents in the chat board here. Both of them, and I'm just going to pull them up so I can reference them on my side. But one is just a kind of a map, just to make sure everybody knows. Cross Country, we're a pretty big company. We are 7,000 employees strong now, a little bit updated since this flyer was issued, 415 branches. So we are a big company. What makes us unique is we haven't gone public. We're not a, sort of traded on Wall Street. The owner of this company, Ren Lenhart, opened in 2003. He still owns this company. He's a loan officer at heart, and that's huge win for Don and I and Carmen and Chris, because that means we're going to be on the offense. you can kind of think of it almost like the Keller model. There's KW International, but the franchise here is local, just like CrossCountry Mortgage. 415 branches. The Hadley branch sits right here on Pepper Pike, 11 employees strong, but we're large but local. Why that's an advantage is the little things like point of sale, septic holes for Geauga County, little things here that is common and norm for the area. That doesn't always go well at big, large companies. And so that's kind of one thing we get to tout. We're large but local. The second flatter we have in there, just kind of just as a little recap about who we are, but it just kind of touches on the fact that we offer just about all programs under the sun. But Don, go ahead, you can jump in here.
There's not much to follow up on that, but where Sean was going with this, we offer all programs. We've got conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, new construction. We got first-time homebuyer programs through OFA and another service called Communities First. There's pretty much nothing we cannot do aside from lot loans. I don't believe we lend on dirt at this point in time, but that is something you can buy and build into a construction loan. So even though as we are as big as we are and as vast as we are, like Sean said, our branch here from a service standpoint is one of the top branches in this company, even though we are as small as we are branch wise. And I always say, if you use us, you get us. We've got some top-notch processors, top-notch loan officer assistants, and Carmen and Jamie on my side. Just give us an opportunity. Let us prove ourselves.
That's outstanding, guys. And I'll add in, it is a huge piece of leverage and a huge opportunity to have both of you as resources. I was just in a conversation with a newer agent today who is, working a few different buyers right now, hoping to get something taken care of. And she's mentioned she's struggling to get pre-approvals or get them comfortable being pre-approved. And I said, hey, look, you've got a couple of guys here in the company or partnered with the company who can help carry some water for you. And so, I'm sure you'll be hearing from her, and I know that you'll take great care of her, but having that local and experienced support for, the tough conversations with clients for any agent, let alone, newer agents who, might not be able to articulate all of the things related to, a pre-approval and why it's important and how it's important and all those things. So, having you guys, again, as the local leaders in this is really tremendous.
Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen. And now we'll throw it over to Jay Tishka with Greater Metropolitan Title and Escrow.
Good morning, everyone. Nothing major today. I just wanted to let everyone know for the past couple of months, we've just kind of been updating our point of sale lists. I know due to COVID and some other things, a couple of cities froze theirs, changed the requirements, things like that. So I am going to throw the latest list I have in the chat, and I will also send it to Julia as well. So if you guys need that, let me know, let Julia know, and we will get that over to you right away.
Can you also throw that in the Facebook group as well, Jay?
Absolutely.
I know that again is a huge resource. If it's our first time selling in an area, or if we are, we haven't done a ton of business, sometimes the point of sale can be a little finicky. Your title team is a great resource to help you navigate that, because if you've seen one deal with POS, they've probably seen 100 this week. So take advantage of that. All right, and then we will throw it over to Miss Gina Legeza with America's Preferred Home Warranty. Good morning, Gina.
Good morning. I'm wearing my Keller red for everybody today. All sparkly and ready to go, feeling better. Thank you guys to my Keller Greater Metropolitan family just for the comfort. The soup was amazing. Loved it. On the mend, and just appreciate all of you. Just wanted to commend everybody. We're doing an incredible job getting our data collections in. We know those are very important as far as your income. Every time you turn a data collection form in, you get $50, agents. This is really important to do what you want to do. Local charity for yourself, for your clients, making a difference in your world and impacting others' lives. So outstanding job. We're doing better and better. Just a couple tips wanted to touch on, Mike, as things get very cold and furnace claims are on the rise. Just making sure that things are in good working order when your client gets in the home. They need to use the item once. Then if there is a problem, it's a covered item. We're going to be there to help alleviate the financial out-of-pocket spend for the client. That is the sole purpose of the home warranty, to help alleviate those out-of-pocket expenses and eliminate the risk. I've got some incredible workshops coming that I'll be working with leadership for everyone's benefit. Typically the first quarter, it's NAR stats, incredible results behind how important it is for your client, for a home warranty, for the seller, for the legal responsibility and buyer as well. So those will be coming first quarter of 2022. Thank you guys for all of your business. And that's my update for this week. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Gina, for everything and good heads up on everything that could be coming down the pike for anybody that you helped buy in the last 6 months. If they bought when it was warm, ensure that they have the coverage from America's Preferred Home Warranty. If you got them that, make sure they know how to use it. Excellent stuff. All right. We are, I hate to be that guy, but we have 60 days left until 2021. We've got 53 days until Christmas. And we've got 23 days until Thanksgiving. So somehow, we made it here. And there is, it is a mad dash and a sprint to the finish line for our year, for our businesses, for our clients, for our family, for everybody, right? I think that, the last 20 months at this point have been really weird in a lot of different ways. And time has moved around differently for everybody. Feels like sometimes it goes super slow, sometimes it goes super fast, and then you wake up and you got exactly 60 days left in your year. That's okay. If anyone's feeling panicked about that, I can't help with holiday presents or getting the stuff ready for the holidays. But we're going to talk a little bit about what that means from a business standpoint. So what we want to look at first is, hey, that's a small number, 60 days left in the year, but there's still actually a lot left on the table. So this is where mindset is going to help us focus and see abundance and opportunity instead of scarcity and, kicking the can down the road to next year. So nearly every property that changes hands, every property that changes hands has a buyer and a seller. Nearly every one of them has a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. If you look at the projections around what will be sold in Northeast Ohio and our MLS over the course of the next 60 days, what business will close, that is going to be about 15,000 sides of business, right? There's going to be there are about 7,500 sell sides, about 7,500 buy sides, right? So there is a lot of opportunity left on the table. Probably about, I would say just over 50% of that's probably already under contract. So, there's 7,500 opportunities on the market or will be on the market for agents to do business. And in the next 60 days, we'll also see over 10,000 listings hit the market. That's the expectation to close the gap from where we are and where we think we will be, right? So 10,000 listings coming on the market in this market is probably the most powerful thing. As we work through seasonality that is returning to the market from October, November, December, and what we'll talk about next into the first quarter, these listings can be a really powerful way to get business. We're going to talk about some great opportunities for listings. And then, we heard that interest rates remain low/lower still. We know there's some things on the horizon with the Fed. We just heard from Sean about that. But while they're still low, it's the biggest opportunity for buyers to maximize affordability, right? And that affordability that's, has the potential to slip away as interest rates rise. Now, there are some things that could benefit the market when they rise, but that's a macro view. The micro view is that if you know a buyer, somebody that wants to get into a house, now is still, now may be the very best time. As inventory is starting to creep up, interest rates remain low, the buying opportunities have seldom been better. And then finally, we're entering the most high-touch time of the year: Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Friendsgiving, holiday parties, gratitude gatherings, getting together with friends. This is the best time of year to rekindle relationships. If there's somebody that you haven't talked to in 6 months, this is the easiest excuse to call them and reinstigate a conversation. It's the best time to maximize and solidify relationships. We'll talk a lot about that in just a moment. But know that, the next 60 days very well could be a sprint for you personally and professionally. And whatever you have to do to prepare yourself for that, let's do it. Let's have that conversation, because the opportunity here is that, market share is going to change hands throughout the winter months, right? The speed to lead, seeing the house at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday in May to get the first offer in, that's not a market share acquisition strategy. That is a make hay while the sun is shining strategy. What's going to happen in the next 120 to 180 days is that the folks who are maximizing their touches, their conversations, their pre-listings are going to be taking market share and blowing the doors off their competition in the spring. So I know you're tired. I'm tired. Everybody's tired. It really comes down to a conversation of, when we start to look ahead to next year, we are already inside of the window of what we do today is what is going to drive our 2022 business. And so let's talk a little bit about what's coming around the corner from a 2022 business standpoint. In the first quarter, right? We're looking in the first quarter of Q1, expect about 20,000 sides of business and over 15,000 listings to hit the market. That's going to be heavily skewed towards March, and we know the end of March. But know that nobody's waking up on March 1st, deciding to list with somebody that they've never met or never talked to before. And so the conversations that we're able to have today, tomorrow, and the next day are going to secure our business for next year, right? And when we get those commitments early, right, we have a better understanding of our business, how to drive it. And, if you've got a listing coming on and 1234 Main Street in sometime in March, the conversations that are able to happen, leading up to that from a buyer acquisition standpoint could be pretty powerful. The potential for interest rates to rise is something that is coming around the corner. We've been hearing about that. We don't think they're going to go to 4 or 5%, but they are going to go up. That is going to have an impact on affordability. We keep repeating those things because it's important that you be repeating them to your clients so that they understand. There's two things that can happen when we talk about interest rates and what our expectations are. One, we can create a sense of urgency right now and have them understand that if affordability is key to them and that they want to get it in as a lower rate as possible, they can do that. The other reason to make sure that we're having this conversation is that when the interest rates go up, we still want to be able to help our clients buy. And the the chatter that will happen around rising interest rates, and the conversations around interest rates that will take place in the news will be, those could be pretty damning to the conversations that you would want to have with a client. But if they know that it's coming, they understand the impact, they understand the risk, they understand the opportunity that it could create with the potential to have inventory build. The opportunity to have inventory build with rising interest rates, the affordability goes down a titch, the urgency goes down a bit, inventory could and should rise. We should see rising inventory rates throughout the spring next year as we continue to distance ourselves from the worst parts of the pandemic, and we get some of the other positive factors as tailwinds. So that's what's around the corner, right? And it's important to be having the conversation with your clients about that in the moment right now. So what do we do to leverage the moment? Well, you heard me talk about this in late September, early October. We're going to talk about it now. Revisit those buyers from the spring and the summer. When you're touching your sphere of influence and the people closest to you, ask for a specific referral. The level of specificity with which we ask for the referral increases the likelihood that they are going to go into their mental Rolodex and find us a person. So, when we're having conversations, it could be as simple as, hey, do you know anybody that was trying to move this summer that maybe wasn't able to because the market was bonkers? Well, in that case, and they might say, oh yeah, my such and such was meant to do it, or I just heard from a guy at work, or whatever. That is a very great way. You've heard me say this before. There's twice as much inventory in the MLS, as there was in May. I know that all real estate's local and it's pocketed, but there's going to be more everywhere as a result. And so identifying folks who could not buy in the May to July, May to August time period is going to allow you to identify opportunities for 2021. Second thing to consider is attacking the FSBO market, right? If the FSBOs have been on the market for 60 days, 90 days, they have missed their window. We know that the two things that plague FSBOs from actually selling is that they're overpriced and undermarketed. And so if there is an intent or an incentive or a motivation for that FSBO to be sold by the end of the year, and they're staring down the barrel of 2022, you may be their little guardian angel coming in to list and sell their property inside of this year. That gets you a this year listing opportunity. Sign the listing paperwork. It expires on January 1st of 2022. If I can't sell your house, you can go back to trying to do it yourself. Right? That's a great one, as it reduces the amount of commitment that FSBO will have, and their incentive or their energy levels around selling their own home are probably at an all-time low right now if they haven't done it. Additionally, getting in touch with this market right now and dripping on them throughout the next 2 to 3 to 4 months could mean bringing them to market in the spring, right? Some FSBOs will say, no, I'm not even going to sell it. Somebody's got to drive by and leave a bag of money for me to get out of this house before 2022. Great, let's talk about what next year looks like, right? And so these appointments right now are planting the seeds for your 2022 business. And anybody who's been in the business for more than just a few years knows that the conversations today, they get nurtured, they bloom in the spring. All right, and the most important thing right now is get your touches in and get your appointments, right? So it's really important that as we go through this very busy couple of months, personally, professionally, and socially, that we are maximizing our opportunity to get our touches in, but that we're also getting appropriate business appointments. Nothing is as devastating as we have all, anybody who's been in the business more than a year has probably seen it and felt it, where you feel like you had a really good conversation, you feel like you're going to list in the spring, and then you end up being the person bringing buyers into that house because they listed with somebody else come April, right? So make sure that you are not just having good conversations over cocktails. Make sure that you are not just having a few laughs around the dinner table. Make sure you are converting to appointments in the near term, and then nurturing that through the spring, buyers and sellers alike. I think that there is a lot of opportunity here if we have good nurture and follow-up plans to take advantage of. And then finally, know your numbers and sell the future. Everything, the first 2.5 of these points is really geared at getting some now business. And then if you don't get the now business, you can get tomorrow's business. When it comes to tomorrow's business, we want to be intelligent and be able to talk about what's happening in the market so that we are positioning ourselves as the fiduciary and the guide in somebody else's home buying journey. And so if somebody's not in for today, if a FSBO is not selling today, we have to start the conversation about what our expectations for the spring market are, how many homes we see coming on, how we would position theirs. All of those things are so much more significant than just a conversation around today or never. So with that, the opportunity in the next 60 days is pretty huge. And if you see there are 2 ways that individuals grow their business, and they're all going to take place in the next 120 days. Number 1 is they sell when others don't, right? They are leaning in and getting deals done. They're turning over every stone to get the 1 or 2 deals in November, December, 1 or 2 additional deals in November, December, positioning themselves for a couple of deals in January or a couple more deals in January. So that's one way that you grow your net income, you grow your business. The second way is taking advantage of the quote unquote down months to make your up months even bigger, right? And so all of the conversations, how good would it feel to be celebrating New Year's Eve with a few signed listing agreements, maybe not yet dated, maybe the paperwork's done and we haven't decided if it's going to go on March 15th or, if we want to wait until the 25th. But at the end of the day, if you knew you had a half dozen listings coming in spring market, how much more confidence could you enter 2022? That's what the biggest real estate agents, the biggest teams, the biggest people in our industry are doing, is they're taking these down months when feet are coming off of the gas and maybe even touching the brake, and they're using them to accelerate their business around the bend of New Year's and into the next spring market. So with that, I will give one more plug and one more rundown for the business planning clinic. Guys, if anything that I just said resonated with you, made you feel like there's an opportunity for some additional action, made you feel like there's an opportunity to do more business, know that you can do that with every segment of your year and every segment of your business. And that's the sort of thing that we're going to be getting into with the business planning clinic coming next Monday, November 8th from 9 to 4 at Michael's Woodside Event Center. Get your tickets. The link is in the chat. If you haven't got one yet, go get it now. It's going to be a huge event. And for those of you who already have your tickets, you're going to be getting some pre-work today. You're going to be getting some pre-work today, to make sure that you've got everything organized. You will fly through that if you focus on getting your mind right, knowing your numbers, knowing what you did, knowing what you spent, knowing what you needed, and, of course, not eating alone. So if you take the time to, and this would take no more than 30 minutes for anybody that needs help finding their numbers, mykw.kw.com, click the Access My Reports button. If you can't figure it out from there, text, call, email me. I will help you get it sorted, but know how much money you want to make, know where you found your deals and what type of deals you did. Did you do listings? Did you do buyers? Did you get them from Sphere? Were they referrals? Know what you put out to the universe from a marketing standpoint. Know where you spent your time from a training standpoint. Know what you spent and what you spent it on. Even if you just print your credit card or your bank statement and highlight the things that are in real estate and you get a total number, you are better off knowing that I spent roughly X on my real estate business than not bothering to figure it out at all. And then finally, knowing who helped you and who you can help is going to be a critical part of building your business plan for 2022 to be the best year yet for you, your friends, your family, your business, everybody involved in your life. So with that, we will call this meeting done a few minutes early for everyone. Guys, hope you had some takeaways. Hope there's something that you can go do immediately following this call to get into conversation or relationship that's going to generate some business. If you need help with that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any member of the leadership team, as we are here to help you grow your business. All right, everybody, have a wonderful week, and we will see you all on Monday for the business planning clinic. We'll see you via Zoom Thursday for our social media class at 1 p.m. and then Friday morning for book club. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome, awesome week.